Hi, I'm Joslyn Blackburn, and I help people in North and South Carolina buy and sell homes with confidence. On this channel, I share real stories, practical guidance, and conversations that make home ownership and selling a home feel less overwhelming and more possible. If you are buying, selling, or investing, or simply looking for clarity for your next step, you are in the right place. Let's get into today's episode.
Hi, I'm Joslyn Blackburn with Gold Key Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams Realty Unlimited. And welcome to episode 2, where we talk to some of our clients, get testimonials, and talk about their experience with me and how I become family. But anyway, I want to introduce you to my mom, my play mom. Her name is Miss Joyce Brooks, and I helped her and her husband, who I affectionately call Pops, get into their new house a few years ago. And introduce yourself. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Joyce, Joyce Brooks.
And so, Mama Joyce, tell everybody how we met. You remember how we met?
We met at church.
We met at church. We met at church. And the funny thing is it was kind of during COVID. So we were all still masked up, right?
Masked up during COVID. Absolutely. We met and I found out that Jocelyn was a realtor in
Mhm.
conversation. And we had at that time we were renting. And Ed always said, well, we're going to get our own. We don't need to be renting anywhere. We need to get our own.
Mhm.
So I spoke to Jocelyn and Jocelyn was very friendly and very forward about the move or possible move for us. So Jocelyn came to visit us and we had this great conversation and he loved her because she was so open and so pleasant and real,
I love that. Thank you for saying that.
real.
So what a lot of people don't know about me, Mama Joyce, is that I have a specialty in working with seniors. I'm a SRES, which is a senior real estate specialist. I had to go to classes to get that designation. And so what they teach us is how to do the work that we always know how to do as realtors, but making sure that we specialize in how we handle our seniors
Yes,
because they're different needs
yes,
that seniors have, right? So, what I found out that you guys needed because you were renting, right?
absolutely.
And
Yes,
you were in a house, you were renting a house, and that landlord had decided they wanted to sell that house, right?
yes.
Yeah, so kinda walk us through that situation.
When we found out that the landlord wanted to sell the house, he said, we don't need to be doing this move thing again. Listen, we need to talk to someone. And Jocelyn popped right in my mind immediately, in my spirit, because we connected because we
Mhm,
belong to the same church, same organization, same choir.
mhm,
So I said to Ed, I have somebody that we can talk to. He said, well, who is it? I said, I'm going to invite her over.
mhm.
And Jocelyn came over and she shared her program, the agency that she worked with. And Ed sat there patiently and listened. And I sat there patiently listened. And Ed looked at me and said, she sounds like a very nice person. And she belongs to your church? I said, yes. That immediately got him. So I asked Jocelyn if she was willing to sit and talk with us. And she did. She explained the program to us. And Ed was open armed, ready. You find us a place, and I promise you, we'll deal with you.
Now, in the beginning, though, Pops was like he was, "I don't know, yes, no, he was like that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because Pop Pop seemed like he had, like, a little hard exterior, but he was a teddy bear.
He
He was a
was. He
teddy
was.
bear.
He
He was
was.
such a sweet, hardworking he took so good care of you.
Oh
He
yeah.
took such
Oh
good
yeah.
care of you.
Oh,
Yeah, and I could see that. I could
oh
see how
yeah.
much he loved you and how much
Oh
'cause
yeah.
you all were married how long?
Well, we got married in 1962.
Wow. That was a long
1962. That's
yeah,
over 50 years.
yeah, over 50 years.
Yes.
Well over 50
Yes. We
years.
dated in high school.
Oh, wow.
I was 17 years old, a girl, and we dated in high school. He went off to the military. And while he was in there, military, he asked me, please don't get engaged and don't marry anybody else. And I promised him, and we did.
Wow. That's
4
such
years
a
later.
beautiful that's
4
a
years later.
beautiful love story. He was also a police officer,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you all are from New Jersey.
New Jersey originally, from New
Mhm.
Jersey. We were both born, well, he was born in Alabama. I was born in Newark, New Jersey,
Okay.
but we met in high school, and he played football with my younger brother on the high school football team.
Mhm.
I was a cheerleader, of course,
Mhm.
and I couldn't stand him, but we got along well because he would come to our home, my parents' home, which was in Newark, New Jersey, and he would have dinner with us. Matter of fact, maybe 2, 3 times a week. And he was so interested in the lifestyle that we had in my household, both parents and my brothers, that he said he wanted the same thing out of life. And that's when we started getting real serious dating, and the rest was history. We got
Yeah.
married.
Got married, and
Yes.
then you ended up moving here, but there was something that happened in New Jersey, and we don't have to get, like, deep into that, but you shared something with me that, someone had done something really, really horrific to you all as it relates to stealing a title to
Yes.
your house in New
Yes.
Jersey. And
Yes.
so that made a hardship on you guys. And so I bet it was hard to trust people
It
after
was.
that,
It was
right?
very, very hard to trust people when that happened to us because we always worked. We always paid our way. Ed was a very upfront man. He worked 2 jobs.
Mhm.
He always said, and he promised me and promised my family, my mother and my father, that he would take care of me,
Mm.
love of his life, and any children that we had, and that we would not be a burden to anybody because he had the ability, mental, physical, to do all those things, which is to work 2 jobs and provide. And that's exactly what Ed did. And we decided at that time to sell our home in Ocean County, Toms River, New Jersey. Nice home. When our granddaughter left, because we actually adopted her through court when she was 4 years old, 3,
Mhm.
4 years old. And my granddaughter left home. So that meant that we were in this house in New Jersey all by ourselves. And he said, let's think about going to visit North Carolina
Okay.
because this is where my cousin lived. And we were very, very close growing up, she and I. So we came to North Carolina and visited her. And he really liked North Carolina. After being here a week, he said, oh, he said, baby, he called me dumb. He said, you know what? He said, we're going to sell and we're going to get out of here. We're going to sell and get out of here. I'm just going to do what feel I need to do to settle down in the South.
Mm.
We're going to sell. And that was our next step, to get a realtor or talk to the realtor about putting our house up on the market, getting the title for that
Mhm.
home that we lived in, which we paid for.
Mm.
And that's exactly what we did. We talked to Gloria, my cousin, who was in North Carolina, and Gloria introduced us to a couple of realtors. But at church, when I met this realtor, Joslyn Blackburn, I just I fell in love with her, her personality, the way she handled us, the way she talked to us, the way she talked to me, and I introduced her to Ed, and he fell in love with her and said, "That's our daughter. That's our
I've
daughter."
been adopted. I've been adopted. It's and I love it. I love it because what a lot of people don't know about me, mom, is that my mother died when I was 11. So I have a whole
Oh,
lot of
yes,
surrogate mothers,
yes,
all across the country. People
yes.
always talk about me being their daughter. And so I
I
welcome
love
you
it.
as my mom. I love you too. So somebody did something to where you weren't able to sell that house in New
In Toms River,
Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
They took the equity in our home. Well, when we decided to move, of course, we called the real estate, the mortgage company,
Mhm.
and told them we'd like to get the title for the house. So a big issue came up with the gentleman on the phone, and Ed asked me to hand him the phone. And he wanted to know what this guy was talking about because someone had taken the equity or the money that we invested in that house to be the owners of that house after 40 43 years
Of you being in that house.
in that house, paying never missed a mortgage payment. So it ended up being someone did this horrific thing to us. And we went through court, and being that I have family members that are federal agents, my nephew did the research, and we all did the research, and I ended up going to the FBI and found out this crime was done to us. This horrific crime.
Wow.
And this happened within a bank. I don't know if I should say the name of the bank, but it happened. It happened. It happened. So people that have your identity, all your personal information, amount of money that you earn, what your earnings are, what your Social Security is, if you're receiving that, whatever income you have, that's how we got our house originally, because we had the income to pay the mortgage. And when someone stole the identity after we decided after 45 years to move, they took our identity, which put us in a situation where we're running around trying to figure out who could do this. All kinds of attorneys. I have bags of legal papers and documents that prove this fact. But someone stole our identity. That is the biggest, the worst thing that could ever happen to anybody. And with that, Ed became very, very, he got sick from that. Of course, so did I. My shield and barriers went up all over the place. Who can we trust? Who can we trust? And it's even not, almost not like that right now, this day, except when I joined Oak Grove Baptist Church. When I joined this church, I met Joslyn, and Joslyn became friends, and she was talking and sharing information with us, sharing information with me. I said, I got to introduce her to Ed.
Yeah, because I bet that when something like that happens to a person, of course the barriers are gonna go up. The spidey senses, like we say, go up, and it's like, who can I trust? I don't know if I can't trust the banks, if I can't trust the county to keep my title, or if I can't trust any of these people, then how am I gonna trust this girl at this church that I just met?
Absolutely.
And so, and that's how it was. And then we were in the middle of COVID. You ended up moving here, you were renting a house, they decide they want to sell. Like, you've been through some things,
Lord God, yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
so there was a family member, right, who was trying to be your realtor. What w- what was the difference between that situation and you choosing to work with me as opposed to that other person? Tell them, like, how was it different working with me?
Well, they were not, they were not actually being very honest with us and pointing us in a direction, or even opening the book up and letting us see all of these opportunities and all these things that could happen in being a homeowner and being who we were, and the status that we were in, the situation we were in. She just opened up and laid everything on the table. She opened the agenda, laid it on the table, explained to us, and Ed immediately said, you know what? I like her. She seems to be a very decent, honest person. And she gave us so much information, Joyce. Think about it. This is not our first journey owning a home. But this young lady, he said, we're going to deal with her. I'm dealing with her. I'm dealing with Joslyn. And I laughed. I said, okay, boo, okay. We can go with Joslyn. And that's how it all started.
Yeah. So we started looking at houses. We were taking Miss Gloria with us. We were looking at houses all over, and we found this gem in Concord. And it has the deck, it has the porch, it has the driveway, it has a beautiful parcel of land. And we got you guys in that home, and you and Pops really enjoyed living in that house. And then Pops got sick and Pops passed.
Yes.
All right, let's take a quick break for a moment. So I want to know, if this conversation is helpful, I need you to do one thing for me. Please subscribe to the channel, like it, because it really helps more people find these stories and resources. Oh, and please share it as well. And if you have any questions about buying, selling, or investing in a home here in the Carolinas, my contact details are in the description. Okay, let's get back to the conversation.
So that's why we're talking about Pops in the past tense because he's no longer with us. We will see him again, but
Oh,
he's no
yeah.
longer with us here on earth. Um, and one thing that I love about, talking with you when we talk about Pops is you would always tell me, Pops would always say, well, you need to call Jocelyn and ask
Oh,
Jocelyn.
Lord.
I was like, well, I don't know if that's something that I have an answer to, but I will try, and so he would always say, call Jocelyn and ask Jocelyn.
He would wake me in the morning. Joyce, did you talk to Jocelyn? Joyce, call Jocelyn. Jocelyn will help you. And then on his deathbed, he said to me, if you have a problem, ever, call Jocelyn. Call Jocelyn. And I didn't pick up that it was that close to him, leaving me. This is what he said to me.
And he never told me that.
Hmm.
He never told me that.
Hmm.
That's such a, you about to make me cry.
I told Gloria that.
Mhm.
Grace.
And you do. And what do I answer the now this is after long after
Yep,
I have helped you buy this house,
that's right.
long after, and we still have this relationship, this
Still
friendship,
have it.
this kinship that we have.
Yes.
And when you were having issues with the house, did I answer the phone?
You answered the phone. You came to the rescue. You immediately, not days, immediately, you jumped and you said, Joyce, don't worry about it. I'm on my way. And
Yeah.
you answered my questions. You held my hand. And the technology that is going on today, a lot of it, of course, I don't know it. So you walked me through and showed me different ways, even with the phone that I have, the sophisticated phone that I have.
Yeah.
And you showed me how to reach out for your agency and you. If I couldn't get you, which I always got you, but if
Mhm.
I need to talk to someone in the mortgage company,
Mm.
there
Yeah.
is another person.
Yeah. We shout you out, Heather Ocello with Movement Mortgage.
Heather would jump and answer my question, and she's walked me through,
Mhm.
as well as Jocelyn, both of them. So I feel very secure with movement. I do. I feel very comfortable with
Mhm.
movement. And they always encourage me to be patient. It's going to work. It's going to
Yeah.
work. It's going to work. And guess what? It's still working. I'm
It's
still in
so
my
working.
house.
Yeah, yeah. And so you mentioned the technology part, and
Mhm.
this is the part that a lot of times some seniors are really tech savvy and some seniors aren't. And so I do have specialized systems and specialized services where if technology is not your thing, I will come to your house and I will help you do it
And you
and I
did.
will show you what you need to do. If we need to do things online, I will come, I'll bring my computer and I'll show you how to do it. I'll log into your email, whatever it is that you needed. I would just run over there because
Always.
I was at the house all the time
All the
helping
time helping me
and Heather would go to your
document.
house too. Yeah.
Yes. Heather would come and Heather talked to Ed, and Ed was so satisfied with the agency. And he assured me, you're going to be okay, Joyce. I'm
Yeah.
not knowing that this was a conversation that was going to actually happen. It was going to be in place the way it is today.
Yeah.
He said, you're going to be fine. You got Jocelyn and you got Heather. They're going to walk you in, Joyce. They're going to take you through,
Yeah.
Joyce.
And we did because we love what we do and we love helping people. And I think that that is the main thing, having the certification is one thing and making sure that you are there for people to help people is one thing. But when people
Feel
feel
comfortable.
comfortable and
Yes. Trust.
and you make them
Yes.
know and understand
Yes.
that you can really trust me.
Yes.
I'm not just saying you can trust me, but I'm showing you that you can
Absolutely.
trust me, right?
Absolutely.
Because trust is a big deal when you're talking about thousands of dollars that you're about
Yes.
to invest
Yes.
in a property. Buying a house is probably, the largest investment that people make.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So, you got to trust the folks that's helping you get to that point, right?
Absolutely.
So tell people about your ideology as it relates to home ownership because we have a lot of people, especially in the African American
Mhm.
community, that are really hesitant with buying a home. They feel like they can't do it or they can't afford it or that it's a hoax or it's not worth it. They look at the interest rates and they feel like all these interest rates are too high, those kinds of things. Tell me what is your ideology? What are your thoughts about home ownership?
There's nothing like owning your own home. If you decide you want to paint your room red, you can do that. If you decide you want to put new windows in or window treatments in or lay carpet, you can do it because it's your home. You own that home.
Mhm.
But if it's someone else's home or someone else's building or dwelling place, you have to ask permission. They may not want certain colors. They may not want certain things done to their home, even though you're trying to improve it or help improve it and make it look or make it feel your
Yours.
space. Some landlords don't want that. So the advantage of owning your own, you could do anything you want to in that home. Anything. So we added on, we had a drive-in carport, and we decided to close that drive-in carport in. It wasn't very expensive either. I'm glad for that. And I use it now as a storage area, and it's a smoking area for those that smoke cigarettes. And that is maybe 2 grandchildren, 2 boys that smoke. They're not, pack, but
Mhm.
they smoke the little small cigars or the little small cigarettes, and they go out there, and which does not interfere within the house, which is a good thing. And the enclosure is simply fabulous
Yeah.
because I can store things out there, my winter boots. I have winter coats out there because it's a temperature out there that's not the temperature in the house. I have a laundry room off from this area, so it doesn't interfere with the laundry room storage area. I love it. I would not trade this house for anything. I would not leave this house just for anything. This is my home,
Yeah.
my permanent home, and I'm
so
very happy.
and I'm so glad you're happy. And so you get to do the things that you want. Now, there are some situations where if you have an HOA, doing things on the exterior of the home might sometimes be things that you might have to go to the homeowners association to go and ask them about, the architectural committee. Those are questions that you would have that you would call me about and I will talk to you about it. But there are some seniors that I have met that have never owned a home.
That
What would you say to encourage them and let them know that it's never too late?
it's never too late, and I encourage you to own your own because you can do what you want to do. When you've worked and you put the time in, you deserve to be happy and be in space, a place where you feel comfortable and you can live the life that you want to live. Paint, restore, restoration,
Mhm.
whatever you want to do. It's your job at your time to
Yeah.
do it. It could be tomorrow, next week, a year from today. You can do the same thing that
Mhm.
we did, Ed and I did,
Mhm.
and I'm happy and I'm content in my dwelling place.
Yeah. I oftentimes talk to people about, our collective net worth as Black Americans is $17,000. Our collective net worth is $17,000 as opposed to white Americans is at like $80,000. So that's the net worth. That's, all of the assets that you have less your liabilities. And the reason why that is because a lot of us are not homeowners. And so the thing is what people don't understand about home ownership is that when you buy a house, even though the bank still owns
Owns it.
it,
Yes. Yes.
you're paying them that
Yes.
loan,
Yes.
right? But as you pay them, that balance is going down and
Equity.
your your value is
Yes.
still going up.
Yes.
So there's your payment that's going down and the value of the home is going up. That space in between is equity. That is money. When you're paying rent, you're giving somebody else the equity.
You're giving someone else equity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
basically you're paying somebody else's mortgage and helping them to build their own wealth and not your generational wealth, but you're building somebody else's generational wealth.
And I look at my equity and I get so tickled when I look at it. I said, well, dang, it's up
Mhm.
there. Whoa, whoa,
Mhm.
whoa. I'm not going anywhere. I'm satisfied. I'm happy.
Right.
I'm content. I'm living the life that Ed would want me to live if he
Yeah.
was still here. And I'm just enjoying myself in my space, in my mansion, I call it, because I'm content. I'm happy.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you're happy and I'm
Yes.
so glad you took the time to talk with me today. Anything else you want to say about me and my firm and my company as it relates to how we handle you as being a senior? Because this is our senior edition. So I want people out there to know that I work with seniors. I specialize in working with seniors and, on the buy and the sell side. So what else is it that you think you might want people to know about me that they may not know because you and I are so close? So,
I'm going to say it and I'm going to be real honest, okay? Jocelyn she's genuine. She's faithful. She's true. When I say true, when you open up and you give her what you're looking for and you tell her she knows and she'll take you and let you choose and make a decision on that property that you looked at and you said, and she'll go in depth and sit
mhm,
and give you the honest opinion about that property that you trying to buy or you want to buy. And she's going to be honest. She's going to be upfront. She and Heather, they're going to be upfront. They're going to give you the best advice that they can give you. And I would say, take it. Take that step. Don't be afraid to do it. Now is the time because situations now are changing drastically with families, with what you're paying for rent, and it's not yours. And you got to ask permission for this, for that. It's not yours. It could go up and put you really out.
or they can tell you we want
That
to
you want
sell
another issue.
to you.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
buying
happened
a
to me.
home, it gives you more stability. There is a place for renting. If you're a person that, maybe you are a travel nurse or something like that, and you travel a lot, you don't know where you're gonna settle just yet. Hey, that if there's a place for rent.
Yes.
But when you are ready to settle down or you just living your life and you're renting from other people and building their wealth, there's a disconnect
Yes, it
there.
is.
Because somebody else is getting that equity, somebody else is building generational wealth that they're going to pass to their children and their children's children, and you paid for it. You paid for it. Bashing renters or anything like that. We just want to, like you said, tell the truth.
And
Tell the truth
encourage.
about what it looks like, how it can happen for you. My darling right here was a senior. She's a senior when she bought her house. So it's never too late. It doesn't matter how old you are. I'm past a certain age and I just bought another house. You do what it is that you feel that you can do, what you're comfortable with. And I know that you can do it because it's something that can be done.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for talking with me. I really appreciate you talking with me today. This is Joslyn Blackburn with Gold Key Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams Realty, your key to unlocking dreams and homes in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the surrounding area. Tell them about it, Joyce.
Bye. Jocelyn is the one.
All right, that's it for today's episode. And thank you so much for spending time with me today. If this episode helped you, Please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need it. And if you are thinking about buying, selling, or investing in a home in North or South Carolina, I would love to walk with you through that journey. It would be my pleasure to do so. Okay, this is Joslyn Blackburn with Gold Key Real Estate Group, powered by Keller Williams Realty Unlimited, your key to unlocking dreams and homes in the Charlotte, North Carolina surrounding areas. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.